the dais, Secretary Mehdi, who had just left, Secretary Consumer Affairs, DGSTPI, Rajendra Kumar, all the distinguished invitees in the audience. It's my privilege to be present here today. When we talk about DPIs, I think we should take pride in the fact that we have built the world's largest and the best ecosystem of digital public infrastructure in various domains. In digital identity, you have heard about Aadhaar. In digital payments, which is based on our unified payments interface, DigiLocker, we have government e-marketplace, we have the National Digital Health Mission platform, and in a number of other areas. These are truly population scale applications and systems which deliver services to citizens and businesses in a completely seamless and integrated fashion. Today we cannot imagine life in India without these DPIs. However, if you look back many years ago, that was not really the case. During that period, most ministries, departments, they would create applications in silos. The applications, they would not, in most cases, talk to each other or exchange data, etc. This led to a lot of overlaps and delays in implementation. And if you see in the last 10 years, we have created this huge set of DPIs which have transformed life as we know. When we talk about the evolution of DPIs in future, we need to really see their role in the context of the vision of Viksit Bharat that we have, both for the longer term horizon of 2047 and the shorter term goals that we have for 2030. If you see today, digital economy, it has a share of about 11-12% of the total GDP, which we expect to go up to about 20% by 2030 and even more by 2047. So how is this goal going to be achieved? In our vision for development, the digital economy, and as a consequence, the DPIs, they need to play a very critical role. We need to really ensure that DPIs are the main instrument for digital transformation in new domains. We diffuse this thought process, this platform to all the stakeholders, including state governments and the private sector. We need to really ensure that DPIs are adopted by all the stakeholders at a scale to really design, develop, and implement new applications for citizens and businesses. We also need to understand that in the evolution of digital economy, the emerging technologies such as AI, quantum computing, etc., they are going to play a much bigger role, in fact, a critical role in the years to come. And to ensure that we take advantage of these emerging technologies, we need to quickly focus on building common stacks in these emerging domains and build them as on the broad template of a DPI. We need to build a common AI stack to ensure that the various ministries, departments, state governments, even the private sector, they can use that stack as a way to really implement AI use cases in their domains, and also ensure that AI can really be deployed to bring gains in efficiency, productivity in various sectors. This will also help a common AI stack as a DPI. It will also help to avoid duplication by different ministries, by the state governments and by other stakeholders in developing the compute infra, in developing a data layer, in developing the AI applications, etc., and save enormous time and resources. We also need to focus on developing our own foundational models. There have been a lot of debate in the media about whether India should go in for its own models or whether we should rely on what is available in public domain in the form of open source models and tweak them, make them more efficient, develop use cases on top of that. But I think to ensure strategic autonomy and to develop world-class capabilities in our own technology ecosystem, it is important that we put our efforts to develop our own foundational models, which can then be used at the base for developing AI applications and implementing use cases in various domains. So how do we do all this? It requires massive capacity building across all levels, both in the government, in various ministries, departments, state governments, and also in the private sector. Without capacity building, without talent development, we cannot really hope to become world leaders in emerging technologies, which we eventually hope to really develop as DPIs for use by all the stakeholders. Let me also talk briefly about DPIs and global digital governance. As you heard from Secretary Maiti, during the G20 presidency that we had in 2023, India built a global DPI repository, GDPIR, which if you see that currently hosts a number of DPI from various countries, including a large set from India itself, from our own country itself. If we think of DPIs at a global scale, then we must think of ensuring that all the countries which adopt those DPIs or customize them for their own specific use cases, they would need to think of adopting open platforms, open standards, open source in many cases. Also, we need to think about ensuring data privacy, security, interoperability, etc. But that's definitely a good way forward for DPIs to really evolve at global scale. If we can ensure the broad contours of the global DPIs to conform to these points I mentioned, then a framework for global digital governance can be put in place based on the ecosystem of DPIs from various countries, not only from India, which adhere to this broad template of open standards, cybersecurity, data privacy, interoperability, etc. And I think that is the future for evolution of DPIs. And India is, in my view, very well positioned to take this global lead in really making DPIs the main instruments for digital transformation at global scale. We already have seen the enormous impacts that DPIs have made in India in terms of transforming the citizen-centric and business-centric services. If we really translate that vision and take it to the global scale, then there is no reason why the entire country, especially those in the south, they cannot adopt this model. And already, as you heard, there have been a lot of steps being taken in this regard in terms of the countries showing interest in what we have done in a relatively short time, and where and how we can really help them in adopting DPIs for their own requirements. So I would like to convey my appreciation to the organizers for organizing this event at a very timely juncture where DPIs are really being used more and more across various domains. They are increasing in importance in terms of really diffusing the idea of digital transformation at a scale in various domains. Now, with the help of DPIs, most government ministries, departments can really plan to develop applications and roll them out in a very quick time. Because a lot of the basics, the foundational element, building blocks required for digitalization are already there. You talk about compute infra, you talk about data in many cases, you talk about applications, you talk about the interfaces, you talk about sharing of data. In most domains, a lot of work has already been done. And now we are reaping the benefits of this transformation in terms of the entire digital economy having become a key force for the overall economy to grow. And this process has to be really carried forward in the time to come to achieve the goals that we have for Viksit Bharat by 2047. So let me convey my best wishes to all the participants here. And also, I hope that the deliberations during the day, they would focus on the critical issues that are really important for us to focus upon for ensuring that this entire process of digital transformation can be taken further, can be made even stronger. Thank you very much.